Hi everyone, Eric back here from Dumb Game Dev, and we're going to be talking about line casting. And in the last topic, we were talking about raycasting. And line casting and raycasting are very, very similar. However, there is one major difference between line casting and raycasting. Now, by default, Playmaker does not have a line casting action. We type linecast. I actually already have downloaded one called Physics Linecast 2, and I got this from the ecosystem. It's not built in. I think built in is this Linecast 2D, which you could also use the same way, but a lot of us are doing 3D, so I'm going to talk about that first. Now, so go ahead and download that from the ecosystem, and you should already know how to do that. If not, check out that section of this course. And it's under ecosystem browser, then search for Linecast. So I've chosen the Linecast 2 because it has more options that I want. Now let's just remove this raycast, but we're going to do the same thing but with the linecast. Let's throw this in here. Now the from position is going to be the game object, just the same, but this time we have a to position. So it's not a direction, but rather a specific position. So we're going to try and connect 2 points. And this is great to see if two objects are in line of sight of each other. However, this is horrible if you are trying to fire a gun, because you want a gun to go in a specific direction no matter what is in front of it. But sometimes you just want to check if something has a line of sight with each other. And in that case, we can just give it a specific object to cast to. So for example, maybe you have two players and they're running around and you want to check if they have line of sight with each other. You know exactly what you're casting to, and you're going to cast to each other. So how we do this is we're going to say throw this, actually we are on the cube, but we want to throw the sphere in here. And we want a hit event. We're going to have just the same object was hit. We don't want a no hit event because we're just going to have this continue to repeat. I'm a lazy person. I'm not going to set up a layer mask, but I am going to set up a line here just so we can see something between the two of them. And a store hit object. Yes, please. So my hit object. So let's hit play and see if these two are able to line cast to each other. And right away, before anything happened even, it was able to line cast to each other. Now, why don't we make this a little bit more complicated? We are going to put a wall between these two so-called buddies that are, traversing through the world, and we want to see if they're able to see each other. Let's just adjust my angle here. We'll make this a big wall, like 10. Oopsie, that's not what we want. 10 by 10. And there is a wall between these friends. We'll call this wall. And we'll call this sphere my friend. Now we're going to give my friend a tag. Let's just say he's an agent. I already have a tag added. You can add whatever tag you want. And the cube is going to check to see if he can see his friend or if a wall is in the way. So when the object is hit, the first thing we want to do is get that hit object, and we want to check the tag. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's search tag. We got get tag. Maybe that'll work for us. Let's see game object compare tag. Okay, that sounds good to me. So let's remove get tag. So what game object? Well, it's the hit object. And we want to see if it's an agent. So if it's an agent, we can call this my friend. And his friend was found. Okay, if it wasn't his friend, we could say, false. Because it wasn't. In that case, we want to keep going back to raycasting. We want to make sure that we're not going to check this every frame. We don't want it to be continuous. We just want one check when it starts. So let's give this a go. We have to make sure this has a collider, which it should by default. There we go. Hit play. We'll go back to our scene view and we'll check out this cube. And let's see here. We have a loop count exceeded maximum, so we have an error. So this is just bouncing back and forth, and that's not good. Let's see if we can add a little wait state here to keep it from bouncing back and forth like a crazy person. So false, it's not my friend. We'll add a little wait. We only need to check once every, 0.1 seconds. And we'll have an event called waited. And we'll go back. And actually on the linecast, we just need to do this one time, right? Because we're just going to do once, wait 1 second, and try again. So let's go to the console, clear our error, and try again. And as you can see, it sort of mostly looks like it's in the wait state because these states happen so quickly. But you can see that it's trying to linecast to its buddy to see if he has access. So let's just move. Why don't we lock this in first so we don't lose it? Move this out of the way and see. Ah, yes. I can see my friend. Okay, so what happened here when we got this error without the wait state is that it bounced back and forth between these states so fast that it could have caused a problem with the game. And so it gave us an error saying, we've done this task 1,000 times, and it's just not working out. So if that's the case, in most cases, you need some way to break up these states that are bouncing back and forth. So I've added a wait so that it's not going too often. This is also good for our performance. We may not even need to do once, a 0.1 seconds, like 0.2 or 0.3 seconds in most games would probably be already a very reasonable check time. So this works pretty good for me, actually. It's frequent enough you can see how good this is. So there we go. That's the difference between line casting and raycasting, and it's just a simple way that we can use this together.